Hi, welcome. This is a weekly reading, tarot reading, and it's going to be by day and also a creative reading at the end. So, okay. um, for Tuesday is the Four of Discs or Pentacles. Sorry. So this is about having something, keeping something close to your chest maybe, or just holding on to whatever it is that you maybe feel is important for whatever reason. I just did all the cards upright because everything has a reverse and an opposite. So reverse would mean like maybe letting go, needing to let go of something. This card has a lot of meanings, as you can see. It's like in between two cities, so sometimes I feel like it's like having one foot in each city. Like maybe you're going back and forth between cities, commuting. Sometimes I think of it as like a medium too. Maybe you have some psychic gifts, and because also sometimes having like one foot in each world, but holding on to something dear. Anything maybe with four letters or words, or it could be maybe just like 4 months. Maybe something's coming to you that you've been waiting on for a long time. But there is some sort of transition here. I always kind of picture like one of those day to night sort of like fast time lapse things behind him. So like morning to night, full day. It's also just being happy and grateful for what you have, and staying open to other things to come to you. It could also just be regular work day. Sometimes I think he's very smug looking, this person in the card. So I'm just sitting back and enjoying whatever it is they're taking in. So maybe remembering to do that, or take some time just to hang out. Yeah. So, but it's also has to do with money and your material reality. So it can mean saving something, saving some money, stay maybe, or having to put a lot of money down or something like that for something. Anyways, we'll move on. Wednesday, the Strength card. Sometimes I think this is just finding something or someone, because it's a pet here in this card, cute or adorable. Maybe you are feeling very cute, feeling very attractive, because it does talk about physical health also. Sometimes going to the dentist. Maybe you have a dentist appointment Wednesday. Maybe it's hump day for you and you're just ready to get over that midweek. It can mean just like physical vitality. So just again, feeling really good in whatever it is that you're doing, strong, powerful. It's 8, it's major arcana. So whatever it is going to either require some strength from you, or whatever is happening may make you feel very powerful, feel like you're in control of something. And it's also using your higher mind to tame any sort of baser instincts, and working together and with grace too. It's like a angel person. So yeah, it's like a gentle touch with whatever it is you're doing, bringing something slowly to like heal, to work with you, through grace, through fortitude, through all these things. So maybe you're going to have to just have a lot of power or strength with whatever it is that you're doing on this day. Or maybe just someone at work maybe finds you cute. Or you're doing a good job. I always feel like whenever this card pops out with, just more of a mundane question, it's like, yes, it's a strong, powerful start or something. So, but also since moving on to Thursday, Wednesday may require a lot of strength, then you may need to rest Thursday. Thursday could just be a timeout, a breather, be like a breath, take a breath. Literally, that card popped out for breath. So just rest, meditation, recouping, any loss of energy, just maybe a chill day. Laying back, listening to music, something happening on your bed maybe, lying down. Can also mean something is now clear to you. You've thought about it maybe for a while and you've really gone over it a lot. Maybe it has to do with work and you're coming out of that sort of reflection zone and just ready to make maybe a decision, or you're clear on something, you understand something. Could have to do with like just in stained glass, just finding a place of solitude, rest. You can regain your strength maybe. Maybe it could be like working from home that day too, or just rest, sleep. It can also mean pray. Anything like that. It's 2 4s here. And then Friday, the 10 of Swords. And by the way, I do have Dusk Till Dawn here, and in the new playlist, September playlist, it's Borns, and I feel like he's kind of doing the dance. I don't know, maybe he is doing the dance that similar to the greatest, Sia's The Greatest in the first playlist, kind of overlap a little bit the playlist, and West Coast, and I do some kind of weird, do look up sometimes the celebrities or the artists, the musicians, whoever is in the videos, and see if by chance they sort of coincided with the meanings placements that I put the videos. And it's funny because I think Lana Del Rey is a Gemini, and I can go west wind, coming from the west maybe, and air, swords, thoughts, anything having to do with communication, and that kind of plays into the Ten of Swords. So I have the West Side Story looking video there, New York, la la la, and it's also about being at the end of the week, maybe being at the end of the week, but also, since it does have to do more with thoughts and swords and air, maybe something's crystal clear to you now. You understand it. It's coming out of any sort of illusions or anything that may have been seen a certain way. Like it's crystal clear to you now. It could be a good or bad thing, just depending on whether that result is good in your opinion. So again, sometimes I do the videos a little bit more just very in alignment with the typical meanings of the cards, but also sometimes they have more to do with the imagery or the just meanings I've come to. Even in that video, it does have to do with air and communication. I think of songs too with swords and music, and there's a guy lying down with a stereo. But it's also crossing a line, crossing the finish line with a thought, with, you're really happy and done with whatever it is you've been working on or thinking about. So again, with that video, it's New York, set in New York, set in LA. So it's kind of like, dropping the illusions, seeing something for what it is, also understanding something fully, completely, and ready to move on, because it's a tweener card, it's 10, and it reduces down to 1. You're ready to start over with something. So maybe you've just been having to work a lot, and you're ready for the end of the week. Could mean feeling stabbed in the back a little bit. That's typical meaning, just something that's really got you down. It's maybe too much to think about, and you just need to let it rest, let it go. Regain your strength, come back to it another time. Maybe That's what that is talking about, coming back to something another time. But I found out that also means like news correspondence along with the tube ones, and so they look like they're kind of communicating across water. So it's waiting for your ship to come in. It's usually has to do with like a merchant or something like that, trade. And he sent something out, I'm just waiting to hear back. But I also found out that it means newsflash. Again, kind of going along with that correspondent thing, and does sometimes talk about mail, news, communication. Again, waiting for your ship to come in, waiting to hear back, like an email or just some news or something like that. So again, newsflash. When messages are coming in, usually this card will pop out. So maybe a message that brings something to a completion, or brings something to light, brings clarity to whatever it is you've been wondering about, whether that's good or bad again, or just, yeah, crystal clear. Maybe you've been waiting to hear about something. So it could also mean just like coming back to a place that maybe you can rest and you're done. So it's like also a call, waiting for a phone call. Maybe you need to make a call, just make some plans. Maybe you'll be receiving a call that may or may not be the best, just depending, so you can expect some sort of information coming to you on Friday. Or if you're in the position to send it out. Saturday and Sunday. For Saturday, the King of Pentacles, discs, Earth, popped out. So it could be a person, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. And again, this is just someone who is very grounded. He's surrounded, by nature and like his castle in the background, his belongings. Like he's got it together. He's very set. Usually, someone who's very grounded, someone who's very practical, and maybe someone who gives some good grounded advice. It could be a boss, someone who could just be the person that you're dealing with, or you. It's about staying grounded. It's about being smart again with money, things like that. Or maybe just feeling like you have a lot to work with, and in whatever capacity that applies to you, and that's making you feel good and like wealthy in a way. This wealth can have any, wealthy in your own stability, inner peace, inner, wealthy with ideas, wealthy with time. Talking about time, taking the slow route, just relaxing. Sunday, that is the 9 of Cups, and I should mention that, like with the other more recent minor playlists, suit playlists, the people cards especially, have been kind of changing around. Sometimes it's a little bit more from more balanced masculine, feminine perspective. Sometimes it's more just includes the Thoth deck, which is Prince and Princess on top of the Knight and Page. So it's a little bit more flexible, and sometimes it's just female perspective, my perspective. All the videos are chosen for different reasons, so just see what applies to you and what would help with whatever it is you're wondering about. Sunday, though, the 9 of Cups, he also looks pretty smug and happy. It's satisfied. It's feeling good, feeling like you got what it is that you've been wanting or wishing, maybe from this, this progression here. You can be careful what you wish for. It could also mean being very satisfied with how much you've, drank that night. Maybe make sure you don't get a hangover or something. But it's also getting a wish. I think I said that, but feeling satisfied, getting what it is that you've wanted, what you've hoped for. I have something there easy, kind of applies to the Marie Antoinette thing that I was talking about a lot, and she wanted something easy to wear in the garden. but also just like wanting something, you know, to come back to you. Sometimes we don't want to always have to work so hard for everything. Sometimes you just want something, you know, to come through that, you know, is easy. I think a lot of people have been in a lot of, going through a lot lately, so maybe something will come through for you, big or small, and just be, you know, wish granted, or feeling good, feeling full, feeling satisfied, feeling happy, and yeah. It's also the genie card, so maybe you'll have the opportunity over the weekend to have some sort of wish or something that has to do with emotions and maybe grounding or this person to come to fruition or manifest. And it's going to make you feel good. Hopefully it's not reversed. Hopefully you're not dealing with the King of Pentacles reversed. But with everything, you know, knowing that these energies, these types of situations or events could potentially come through, it's up to you then to know how to react with, you know, forewarned is forearmed. So I also pulled some I Ching and rune cards, which I'll put the links for. Something speaking to me?
Michael, when you first heard what the president said Friday night, calling players venal sons of bitches, saying that they should be fired,
There you go, news correspondent. Okay, so anyways, this is the I Ching here, and the first card that popped out was 24, and the second was 2, which is the receptive. I know in this, I forget the name exactly of this one, so I'll put links below. And you can kind of compare the different broken lines. I think it's only the first one, that changes. So you can see what advice those lines have. And the runes that I pulled were, again, strength. That's number 5, but it means something different in the runes. Sort of different. It's Uras, I think. So U, or maybe it's an N. They all have letters attached to them too. So that's another thing that I put into those data plays. Even further language, connected to the runes, because there's 24 runes. And then the other card that I pulled is 14. It's funny because that reduces down to 5, and that's Knaz. And it's, again, I'll put links for both of these below in the details. But it's an opening. It's, I think it has to do with like warrior type, warrior type energy. It's lighting the torch. These are not going to behave. Okay. Just lost it. I'll put those below, and they may or may not apply to the message for you. So I thought I would just do a little bit more of like a creative reading from here on out and see what pops out. And let me pull this a little bit closer. Sure, it's kind of funny. It has like a hood. It's these sort of weird see-through. Nine of Swords on the star just flew out, and the Empress on the bottom, and I think that came through in the last reading. So, and the Ten of Pentacles is kind of popping out there. Lots going on, lots of energy, I guess. So, the Empress, I always feel like she's kind of doing, pulling some sort of Botticelli almost, even though this is by Raphael. St. Catherine of Alexandria, 1508, National Gallery, London, UK. And that's funny because that is the year, I figured out later, that the Leda was painted, Leonardo da Vinci. So it's kind of the school of Leonardo, school of Caitlin here. I think of how there's always been that sort of like artist and muse dynamic, going back into history, even Leonardo and said that kind of strangely, Nardo, and the Mona Lisa, which he spent the most time on. So, yeah, most artists have always had their sort of inspiration that is probably something like this, or, the star. Yeah, I think of like Edie and Andy, Superstar, Starry Night. Maybe translating Starry Night into day, time of some sort. Little hatches, hatch marks, something small making up the big picture, details. Instead of full-on Monet. I just rewatched that movie for the first time in a long time. Anyways, I'll read these. This is the Nine of Swords. The longer we dwell on our misfortunes, the greater is their power to harm us. Voltaire. And this is, again, the Leda, head of a young woman with tousled hair, Da Vinci, Parma, Italy. Nine of Swords, I think of levels with that a lot. Or, what was I going to say a second ago? Maybe it means something to you. It's being up all night with your thoughts sometimes, sometimes with worry. There are different cards, just being maybe up all night painting or something. This looks like cardboard to me, in a way, perforated, and how, like, when you can see on the side, the waves inside a perforated cardboard box, and how everything has pattern to it. There's some sort of design element, even the most mundane things. It's kind of like looking down. And the star. Thou follow thy star, thou canst not fail, glorious heaven. Dante Alighieri, The Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh, 1889. MoMA, New York. So, star, usually, and I did mention this actually came out in the last, both of these cards came out in the last reading. The star and how I put the Clueless video, because in the and the dancing in the actual movie, she bends down and does that choreographed dance with a friend. So just that, but I think of what's going on with like the NFL right now and people taking a knee, which I think it's more. If you ask me, and I hope, I'm not speaking for anyone, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that taking a knee is any sign of disrespect so much as it's finding a way to still honor and show respect to the national anthem, to America, while still, it's not like they're just standing around. And I think the main point, or at least I truly believe that protest in general, because you're never going to convince both sides that everyone is, I think the point of protesting should be to promote an understanding for both sides to come together and understand the other's point of view so that there can be harmony and resolve and solutions. So just finding, a different way to still show respect while acknowledging the fact that they have some, issues with certain things going, and just like people, no country is perfect. There's always room for adjustments and development and evolution and solutions. So, there has to be some sort of acknowledgement, if they feel like there's attention needs to be brought to something. And I don't know if there's anything else, I think, but it should be to promote an understanding. And I feel like it is, as long as it's peaceful and all all these things. There's no harm in that. I think actually, it's very, it's a good thing, because that's what this country's all about, and it's about freedom and them having the right and the freedom to do that. That's what makes this country good. So I don't think there should be any issue with it. They're following their star. And I know it sounds kind of corny, but it's following what you believe to be your true north. The highest moral code. It's beyond country, beyond something that it's bigger than you. So it's finding inspiration in that. Actually, I heard someone talking about how it's about also showing their children, being an example for their children, and I forget now the quote, and I'll have to put it below, but it says something about the wisest men are women that that live for the next generation, and so I think that should be the focus, to let other things go. Maybe that's what a little bit that's talking about, and focus on what it is you do want to see: the equality, the diversity, the harmony of working together, and equality for all. To focus on that, and I don't think there's any truer pursuit and reflection of freedom than of creative wisdom. And so all of that, is just to say that, I don't know, individual rights is what make us great. So I feel like more people should just, salute them in their standing up for what they believe in. Not everyone gets to do that, and anyone who has a problem with it, I think they need to see the bigger picture, and beyond, again, what's right, what's wrong, these rules that we've already set, and come to an understanding. See, that's what it's all about. So it's in my opinion, but Ten of Pentacles also, not what we have, but what we enjoy constitutes our abundance. That's when I was just talking about wealth earlier. John, Petite Son, Young Girls at the Piano, and Pierre Noir, 1892, Musée d'Orsay, Paris, France. So maybe learning, picking up a new instrument, just playing music with friends, getting together. Ten of Pentacles, though, it is some sort of completion, but sometimes the typical imagery looks more like a play to me, with set design and the arches. So again, you can see what I put there. But it's longevity, and it's generation sometimes, and just something that's strong and solid, and there's strength to it because the work was done correctly the first time. So maybe, again, with the Empress and the Nine of Swords, maybe you're worried about maybe how you are being perceived, or a creative project or something like that, and the outcome is Ten of Pentacles. I just want to say, almost like, even though they're reading music, like brainstorming in a way, to create some sort of new vision. Two minds better than one kind of thing. Interpreting music in a different way. Just a lot of like graceful energy between the music and the poses and all these like kind of colorful fabrics, and what is that, like, coming together where you can still see the difference. Well, I should say the fourth stage in between, where you can see of the alchemical cycle. I hope people are following me. But where you can see that coming together, but it's still separate. two separate colors and have not fully, in the most simplest terms, like analogy, mixed. It's that coming together at the end. So it's two things that work well together, and they, almost like side by side, but and like music too, right hand, left hand, but they're still different, separate. They still have their separate parts, roles, that kind of thing. So I think it's also appreciating the other. There's some sort of, coming together of different ideas, projects, whatever, thoughts, colors, it's appreciating how one enhances the other. Instead of detracts from it, it's that molding, meshing, in a way, of two strong components. Okay, I'm going to pull from this new deck. What's it called? It's a little bit more like whimsical and new earring. I found these. These are kind of cool. They're kind of like Art Deco-y with pearl. For those that care, wanting ideas. Let's see, what other energies or advice, wisdom, guidance, inspiration? Is good. Again, the star. So again, it's like your lucky star. It's inspiration. It's either receiving or giving inspiration. It's feeling, again, kind of filled up with nurtured, like that, just like really, the wrong words keep coming to mind, but like I feel like you just like rejuvenated. Like I feel like these are like Gatorades or something. Like just intake of good nutrients, whether that be actual water, as the water bearer here, Aquarius, or inspiration or good information, knowledge, books. It's like a butterfly skirt, almost. Oversized butterfly skirt. And so again, it could be Aquarius. Maybe you are an Aquarius or dealing with an Aquarius. Talking a little bit about the future too, keeping an open mind. It's bringing a message, a heart message, maybe like some sort of message of friendship. It could also be like a watering hole or something like that, like a bar getting together with friends, and you're just kind of, again, sort of talking things out. Things are just feeling good and rejuvenated because you've spent some time with people that you care about, and also, just Starry Night, going out, being like glamorous, glitzy, 1930s glamour in a way, or she's like a bouquet head flower vase thing, and doing pirouettes over the pond. Frog? I don't know, she just kind of looks like it's all easy. It's like, I feel like things coming easy. Watering something, nurturing something, seeing it grow, looking for guidance, and looking for something bigger than yourself for that guidance. You can also just feeling like a star, feeling like you are being seen and things are looking up and hopeful and, future type stuff. But again, there's that grace of the ballerina, and and it's 17. So it's being an inspiration too. I think that's better than just in terms of, so many people are called influencers and that kind of thing. I'd rather be an inspiration to people, help them, find their most authentic expression, what makes them feel good and nourished and all these things, inspired, whether it's to get dressed and go out, look nice, or inspired to, not just like myself, but like in general, I'm saying like, I think to be an inspiration is a better use of that sort of influencer type energy, instead of bringing people over only to your point of view, but to be inspiring them to find their highest, truest like expression, creative or otherwise, to guide, to help. And with the two, it kind of is like that give and take, I feel like, too. And you give out, you get back. So maybe just like going out where you can see the stars too, and like constellations, and being inspired by nighttime scenery. The Garden of, was that movie Garden of Good and Evil, or just flowers blooming at night, things coming alive at night, like a little magical pond. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, but yeah, like the sort of twinkly, there's also some structure and like star tights. It's kind of like, also maybe like wearing your environment in a way, because the tights are the same stars there. Coming one with your environment. Appreciating your surroundings and taking on those traits or characteristics or something like that too. I just love the Lion King too for some reason. Justice is on the bottom. So this is finding again a balance, and this talks about balance too. Being that center bridge, the truth. It's true. Oftentimes when I hear someone say it's true, this card pops out. It's also like an entrance. It's a gateway. It's 11. Entrance to the other side in a way of, whether you believe in that or not, but like entering your subconscious, entering that part of your mind, or that whatever you don't typically, or autopilot kind of thing, to gain maybe new clarity or answers, or all of a sudden something is, again, kind of crystal clear, but I think more of like a gleaming, like a habit, a revelation kind of thing, where everything sort of makes sense, and there's the creativity, but there's also the structure in it. You can talk about law, structure, justice, legal type things. So I think of having some sort of outline or structure, but letting there be, because it has to do with thoughts too, letting there be a fluid flow of thought and communication that allows you to step through that door, and gain whatever knowledge, inspiration, information, understanding that you need. You can also be consulting someone in the legal profession, or someone who just is knowledgeable and wise and has the truth, has the answers that you need. Drawing a line. Also, I always feel like it is some sort of threshold. So whether you need to cross that line or go back to your, side, or just let there be a, I don't want to say like division, because that's like so like not trendy right now. But seriously, like sometimes we do need boundaries too. Personal boundaries, that kind of thing. So maybe it's just talking something out where you feel relaxed and comfortable, and maybe with friends or something like that. but also consulting someone that, like, I feel like tells you the truth, isn't going to sugarcoat things, and isn't going to, gloss over something. They're going to give you bigger perspective, or help you to see something in a new light that brings the truth. Pull one more from this deck, and then an oracle card, and then we'll be done. What else do people need to know? Seven of Cups. Tower, and kind of was like the Two of Wands. Bottom, so maybe, again, guide, future, looking out into the distance, seeing something, trying to pick a path, choose something, balance, again, to choice, the Tower, throwing something out, something's just kind of done, shock, explosion, however that translates for you, maybe an explosion of the mind, and all of a sudden, again, something's clear to you, and you have an aha moment, and everything's great. It could also mean, like, falling from something, some sort of shake-up, something that clears the way, and that is the upside of the Tower, is that it's now leveled, it's now clear, and you can rebuild, you can see the light. That's why the star comes after it. So whatever needs to be cleared away, whatever you need to let go of, it also advises that if things are kind of taken away from you, or something comes at you as a surprise, to sort of just go with it and try to, let whatever is falling away fall away. Just going to notice the cloud up here. This reminds me of, like, Berenstain Bears. So I used to live in a tree. They used to. The book series for kids. Just makes me think of Care Bears and how they had a, like, factory in the clouds. It was maybe the movie. I don't know if anyone's seen that in a long time. But how they would, like, they had a whole, like, system, again, down pat, and they, like, I don't remember what they were making. Maybe they were making other Care Bears, but, like, had a whole factory, and they're just kind of, like, spinning them out, and then they jump out of I don't know, maybe someone can find it, maybe I'll find it, and they would fall from the clouds, the Care Bears, I think, and go find their friends. I don't remember what happened in it, but I also just thought of Jack and the Beanstalk. This kind of looks like that too, and, like, climbing to where this, like, giant is, and above the clouds, something that moves away, and you can see it clearly. The King of Pentacles from 4-2, and how they snuck in, trade, the magic beans. I don't know, maybe this makes sense or is important to someone out there. It's not having a fear of heights, which I do. But again, just letting things sort of fall away that are unnecessary, so you can move forward. And it can also just mean that these colors are important. I just thought of the car crash, but in the Three of Swords that I have there, RIP. And the design, the pattern that's on the car, and how you could, like, how everything could kind of just be dismantled and taken apart, dissected, and turned into something else. And how, like, the pattern in that car, that kind of Native American Navajo pattern, then could be, like, translated into, like, a kind of like a duster coat, waist, like a sort of like a very thin, like 1.5 down fill car coat or something, with that Navajo pattern quilting on it, but all just, maybe this color or something like that, like a dusty pink or something like, you know what I mean, like very simple. So just another example how, like, again, you can kind of take apart these videos, find the connections, and build from those connections, build upon that. So Seven of Cups also popped out, and usually he's like looking up at like all his options and having to choose. Sometimes it can mean like having some sort of intoxication kind of thing. That's why I put that video there, because he goes into like a dreamland kind of thing. But it's also having to pick like an option, seeing the big picture, also seeing everything, maybe sometimes like in your mind, and seeing all the different parts and all the different options, and seeing how maybe they come together in thought prior to it becoming real cups. So I think of like fantasy and reality, and trying to figure out how puzzle pieces in a way, and what is you really want to pull out, to focus on. Just think of like, no, just file cabinets, but more just like different levels, different levels of like a pile. I don't know where these are coming from. Pile knit, patchwork, like cut and sew. So it's like you can actually see the difference in pulling out what it is you want to focus on. See the difference in level. Also kind of like the Empress. Different colors, maybe different fabrications, like mohair. I don't know where all this is coming from, but just because that's not what I usually get from this. There's a lot of clouds, so it's also being a little bit foggy or hazy on something, and having to gain clarity and just pick something, and seeing all your options, seeing what it is that, think of like scrolling through the scenes of a movie, a DVD, and like maybe thinking of it like that. What is it, one that first grabs your attention that you want to watch first? Something again that just like breaks through that crazy, hazy fog, and brings some clarity to mind. All of a sudden, it clears away any confusion, and you can see the clear way through now. It's being offered all these cups from the trees, which makes me think of like candles again, and like little tea lights, and it's very whimsical colors. Also think of the big hair there, big fonts, and tall hair. She has like little like that coming down from her hair in that negative space. Some feathers, it looks like, and some jewelry. She's like a long, it's kind of really interesting up close, all the details. Oh, even this over here, though it's not a feather at all, kind of takes on that feather shape. So again, sort of applying things in different ways, in different contexts. This is like air and trees, and it's like negative space, creating that feather looking area. So it's also like fish, or what are those big, birds of paradise, I think, or something like that. So this be clouds or smoke. So maybe I'll pull one more further clarity on the tower. Tower is number 16, which then becomes 7. So again, having to like smoke them out, or gain clarity on something. Ace of Swords. Just I don't know how to pronounce it. Just Cloud is what I put there for the Ace of Swords, which means just a nail, or just a single sword, or all from a single thought. Because that video that I just added there sort of seems to encapsulate all these different images, like again, like the Seven of Cups, all these different parts and aspects of different videos, whether it be the way that they're filmed, or the location, or whatever it is. Lots of different things all together in 1 minute video, and also just the name too. Just a cloud. I just want to say just a cloud, just a thought, and how a single thought can become this all-encompassing type thing. Again, distillation, pulling things apart and stripping them down to their essence so that you can then recombine. She looks like Ursula. It makes me think of a part of your world, and the cavern, treasure trove, and again, alchemy, the alchemical cycle, and your transformation being the treasure at the end, and also I realized that the alchemical cycle has the same pi division as that nuclear sign, and I don't know if people see the details in the playlist, but in the supplementary playlist I found, how do you pronounce it, Geraldo? Yeah, it's Geraldo from the 90s Club Kids, but which I feel like a lot of, even though Club Kids was more so a trend we saw like last season, just so much of what I've been seeing on the runways could pick apart and see in those too. So there's that carryover, but also, I don't know if you caught it, but there's a guy in the audience that looks just like the guy that I saw on CBS and on the bus, God, or Ancient of Days maybe, and he is wearing, he has this same dress, and it's like this, and he has an earring, a single earring on, and he's wearing a red shirt with the nuclear sign, the shelter on it, which I thought was apt since with everything going on now, and the Ancient of Days being the Ace of Wands that came up in the Art of Life Tarot, and that first beginning fire, nuclear fusion, the beginning of the universe, Big Bang, how everything was a metaphor for nuclear fusion and just coming together of opposites and creating newness, whether it be DNA or paint. Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting, and what he said about creativity and how people should, again, like see the bigger picture, like with what's going on in the NFL and like things like that, just seeing beyond where you're harping on one specific thing. One, it's so much bigger than that anyways, and it's really to see the bigger picture, see beyond your scope, and focus on what is good. Focus on the fact in that video that people were being creative with their expression, to find the beauty in that, and encourage that, because I feel like when people feel encouraged, and the whole issue was drug use, but when people feel encouraged, feel accepted, feel supported in their creative expression, all these unnecessary things like drugs and whatnot then tend to fall away naturally. So again, it's that focusing on the positive and what it is you do want to see and what is good. It's not turning a blind eye or ignoring it, again, with like what they're doing and felt like acknowledging something by still showing respect, but in a different way. Yeah, so it is pulling out the goodness, pulling out the thing that's going to last, pulling out the positive, pulling out the creativity in something, and again, transformation, the Ace of Swords, so going back, yeah, so this could just mean basically, or that's right, so maybe you just needed a yes or no answer, and there it is. Ruffles, and she has a little like I don't even know what the animal would be, so. So I'll just do a Winged Enchantment Oracle card to finish up the reading, see if there's anything I missed, and for some further guidance. That popped up before, duck. Made me feel like a sitting duck, or like duck, duck, goose, or again with that like having to choose. I pulled this one last time, so I'll do a different one, I think. I thought he was wearing an earring too, but it's just that I think I did this one last time. Here, I'm just gonna start over. Focus. Let's focus. Sparrow. I don't know if I was more. Highest and greatest good. Finch. Hummingbird. Loon is on the bottom. 20. It's like water, ice, castle, viaduct, or viaduct. Some sort of enclosed, like in The Little Mermaid, they like go into like kiss the girl scene, that kind of. A lot of Disney movies are always coming to mind, but that kind of thing. Canopy, shelter, again. This is 12 Finch. Let's see. Also 32 Sparrow. I read Loon first. I am Loon, the keeper of dreams and master of wishes. I am the place where poets wander. I am the world the great visionaries traverse. I am the lonely woods that beckon the mystic. I am where the madmen get lost and where the medicine men dream. To enter my waters, you have gone searching for a new reality. Your dreams have inspired you, your fantasies have lured you in, though the flow of wishes and hopes intoxicate and stimulate, sometimes they hold you hostage. I let you envision new worlds, but you cannot linger long. From here, you must recognize your own part in your life story. I am the enticement of shadows. Step inside my deep lakes and pull from it the endings you dream of, like the Seven of Cups, pulling from it what you really want. You are playing with possibility. You're exploring the land of dreams. You're a fantasy. You're a loon, and that makes me think of the first stage in the alchemical cycle, which is combinatory play, and so it is that about that experimentation stage of just, again, sort of playing with different possibilities, like it says, different combinations, different expressions, different, So, exploring the land of dreams. You are fantasy, you are loon, so incorporating some fantasy into whatever it is you're thinking about. 32. I am Sparrow, the enlightenment of self-worth. I am pride in simplicity and honor in the commonplace. I am the one standing vigilant. I am power in numbers and contentment of being part of the larger whole. Much of human endeavor thrives on originality or standing out boldly from the crowd. My wisdom encourages the acknowledgement of the role of community and family to shape your personal destiny. You cannot always fly solo, but you cannot neglect the threads that bind it all together. You are approaching a time that will require a group effort and a need to blend in while fostering your imprint in the world. It is a mighty gift to flit about the world unseen, and a greater gift to know you have flocks behind you if you need them. You need to pull back, regroup, and find the common ground. You're engaging in humanity. You're part of something great. You're open. You are Sparrow. And Finch. It's very calm, lots of neutrals. Roses, neutrals, and serenity pool. I am Finch, the diversity of experience. I am a million facets of reality. I am an internal spectrum of color. I exist in a myriad of ways and bring the magic of alternatives. I am the high energy of restless anticipation. I am new direction and choice. I am your clue that it's time to switch things around and sample the flavors of life. Like 32 flavors and just, spice it up. Change the colors, take the road never traveled. If you are stagnant, I will be there with opportunity. If you've seen it all before, I will change the landscape. Without change, everything stops. That's a good thing to remember. I am the millions of paths you could take. I am the urge to try something new. I am the joy of a free and adventuresome way of life. I am the flurry of endless activity. You are ready to leave the comfort zone and mingle with new realities, like the star, and opening the box of perception, opening your mind. You are abundant in curiosity. You are active change. You are blending experience. You are Finch. Blending experiences, I like that. It's not, I think the easiest thing to do, but especially as like an art form, but I think it's really interesting how there's all these overlaps of experiences and contexts and things like that again create and build, like it says, new realities. So anyways, I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you enjoyed the reading, and have a good rest of the week. Thanks for watching, thanks for joining, thanks for being here with me. Take care. Bye.